Get back to that breaking news now in Kalamazoo. A public safety officer shot and killed in the line of duty. The suspect also dead. And 24-hour News 8's Tony Talavia at the scene. Tony, fill us in on exactly what you're seeing out there right now.
Good morning, Brett. Still a heavy police presence here at the corner of Hayes Park Avenue and March Street on the south side of Kalamazoo. From time to time, we can see flashlights as officers continue to zero in on points that could be evidence in this case. Safety investigators here in Kalamazoo are telling us, based on their preliminary investigation, they say last night officers were called out to investigate a report of shots fired here in this area, the 1400 block of Hayes Park. The department says when those officers came out, they asked a man who was standing on his porch if he had heard any gunshots. But the department says that man then started confronting with a weapon. And the department says then that gunfire was exchanged between that man, a 31-year-old Kalamazoo man, and the public safety officer. Then investigators say that man ran away from that area, between some houses in this area. That is when investigators say he confronted a second police officer, public safety officer here in Kalamazoo, and that is the officer who investigators say was shot and killed. The suspect, the 31-year-old Kalamazoo man who police believe shot that public safety officer, is dead. Police tell us they believe it is from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Just about an hour or so ago, we spoke with a man who says he's known that 31-year-old suspect for 5 years.
I don't know what draw him to do this today, but this is nothing like him, though. I can tell you that. Nothing like him.
Investigators have not identified that 31-year-old suspect. They've also not revealed the identity of the fallen officer. Kalamazoo Public Safety Director Jeff Hadley is planning a press conference. We plan to carry that live on 24-hour News 8. We'll continue to stay on scene, stay in touch with investigators here, and bring you the latest. Live in Kalamazoo, Tony Talavia, 24-hour News 8.
This is sending shockwaves through that force. Obviously a strong bond among officers, and from what we're hearing, it's hitting that department pretty hard down there. 24-hour News 8's Joe LaFurgie is at police headquarters where there are a lot of heavy hearts. Joe, can you tell us what you've been seeing there?
Yeah, Emily, I'll give you a little look out inside the public safety headquarters here on Crosstown Parkway. The flag, as you can see, put to half staff right now. You take a look over the opposite side here. This is the employee parking lot, and generally you see a couple at least police cars in this lot. Not many this morning. We do see a lot of employees' cars for this early in the morning. A lot of people have come in here, a lot of personnel from Kalamazoo Public Safety. Occasionally you'll see somebody going through the front door here, some personnel, some folks that work here. Occasionally you see a hug. Everybody with a very somber look on their face that goes through those doors this morning. And of course, keep in mind, this is the public safety department, so we're talking about police, firefighter, cross-trained people. Very emotional when you consider the fact that anytime you get into one of these public safety jobs, you're talking about people who have to rely on each other really for life or death. I mean, you go out there on the street and you're not sure what's going to happen, and that person who's that fellow officer really has got your back most of the time. So they create a bond that's pretty unique in these public safety agencies. So this will hit this department extremely hard. This is the first line of duty death they've recorded here in Kalamazoo in a long number of years. That a fortunate statistic right there, but anytime you get into this business, there is always that risk, and obviously that officer paying the ultimate sacrifice late last night. Our own Ryan Takeo did talk to Public Safety Chief Jeff Hadley here in the last hour or so. He was headed off to the Kalamazoo Public Safety Training Center, that's over on North Park Street, to debrief officers. They'll bring as many officers that aren't investigating this case into that area, let them know what's going on, give them updates on not only the crime situation, but probably background of the officer and what they'll do for funeral services, that sort of thing. All of that developing right now. Nothing settled at this point. The chief didn't have a lot of new information to give Ryan. Again, this is a developing situation, and you got to remember too, they have to investigate the crime here. They have to prepare for what will probably be a pretty large-scale funeral, and also investigate the crime that went on last night. So a busy day while these officers still work through the grieving process as well. Now, the chief did tell Ryan that he expects to have some sort of news conference this morning, probably around the noon hour, we will be here as developments warrant and let you know any new developments that go on here at Public Safety Headquarters. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Joe. Well, as this story continues to develop throughout the morning, we'll be keeping you updated. Right now, we have those 3 crews in Kalamazoo learning as much as they can about the situation that's happening there. We also have a comprehensive story online, and right now it's at woodtv.com. Ryan Takeo, live at the scene, working to get the very latest details on this. We're headed back out to him right now. Ryan?
Hi, Brett. About 2 miles from the police department over here, over at the scene here. And on the way, I talked to an officer who told me that the officer involved in this shooting was a veteran. He would say several years. He guessed about 10 years. But it's also hitting other departments hard as well. Very somber tone here. I want to show you this Western Michigan police car right here. They're setting up the perimeter while some KDPS officers investigate, detectives investigate, and also some are being debriefed right now by Chief Jeff Hadley. And I talked to Western Michigan University officer who is saying that he knew the officer involved, wouldn't give me any details, but said that indeed it was a veteran of Kalamazoo Department of Public Safety, that it's sort of like a small group, a fraternity, if you will, in this area. A lot of the officers knowing working with each other. So definitely a sad day, not just for the Kalamazoo Department of Public Safety, but for all the surrounding departments. Those surrounding departments, mind you, are taking the Kalamazoo Department of Public Safety's calls in the meantime while they regroup, while they continue to investigate as well. We'll have another update coming up in 15 minutes with live in Kalamazoo. Ryan Takeo, 24 Hour News 8.